Hello again guys, welcome back to my 2018 Oscar prediction video coverage, and today's category up for discussion is Best Original Screenplay. And guys, I am not lying when I say that I struggled with this one. When I sat down to formulate my talking points for this video, I just got so stuck and overwhelmed with how good the quality was this year. It's an exceptionally strong selection of writers and films this year, so let's take a look at them. The nominees for Best Original Screenplay 2018 are Guillermo del Toro and Vanessa Taylor for The Shape of Water, Martin McDonagh for Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Jordan Peele for Get Out, Kumail Nanjiani and Emily Gordon for The Big Sick, and Greta Gerwig for Lady Bird. Now, I just want to remind you guys that sometimes, over the course of awards season, my opinion can change on who I think is going to win. And because Best Original Screenplay is such a tight race this year, it might change on the night. So if you want to know my full and final predictions on March 4th, Oscar night, be sure to add me on Twitter. That's my Twitter ID on the screen right now. And then you can be fully updated on who I think is going to win on the night. And yeah, it's a fun night because I just get drunk off loads of Prosecco and I'm just, tweeting away, unsupervised. And it's a good laugh. Right, so let's get started. Now, instead of giving you my initial thoughts, I'm just going to give you my overall thoughts of the category as a whole. And then I'll tell you who I want to win and who I think will win. Because this category, there is a lot to talk about, okay? So what makes this an exceptionally tough race to call is that out of the 5 nominees for Best Original Screenplay, 4 of them are up for Best Picture. The Shape of Water, Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Get Out, and Lady Bird. And out of those 4, 3 of those writers are also up for Best Director, which include Guillermo del Toro, Jordan Peele, and Greta Gerwig. Now, first of all, thanks for playing, but The Big Sick is the only film in this category which I think doesn't even have a chance of winning. Husband and wife team Kumail Nanjiani and Emily Gordon's charming rom-com did well to get a nomination, but it just doesn't have enough pull against the other nominees this year. So that leaves Guillermo del Toro, Martin McDonagh, Jordan Peele, and Greta Gerwig. So basically, this will come down to who the Academy will want to award and for what. Do they give them credit for writing, directing, Best Picture, or multiple? Given that this is an exceptionally tough year, it will most likely be a case of the Academy trying to award as many people in some capacity. Now, out of the remaining 4, I would say that Guillermo del Toro is more likely to be awarded for directing than for writing. The Shape of Water is like watching visual poetry, but that doesn't come down solely to the responsibility of the script. It involves production design and cinematography, and the music as well. So I'm going to rule Guillermo del Toro out, which means it's now a 3-way race between Martin McDonagh, Jordan Peele, and Greta Gerwig. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Greta Gerwig and Jordan Peele are both up for directing, but Martin McDonagh isn't. So you would think, well, maybe that gives Martin McDonagh a boost. However, Martin McDonagh is also up for Best Picture because he produced Three Billboards. And Three Billboards does have a bit of momentum now because it did win Best Picture at the Golden Globes. And it's unlikely that Get Out or Lady Bird will be able to win Best Picture. And the competition for Best Director is insanely strong this year because Jordan Peele and Greta Gerwig are vying against Christopher Nolan, Paul Thomas Anderson, and Guillermo del Toro. So yeah, they seem like the underdogs in this category for direction. So that means, once again, their best chances of winning are for Best Original Screenplay. But who does the Academy give it to? Frustratingly, all 3 of them have a decent claim to win this. Martin McDonagh's script for Three Billboards was unflinchingly dark and funny. Both audiences and critics agreed that when they saw this, it was the writing that leapt off the screen. And it's already won a Golden Globe for Best Screenplay. And comparatively to Lady Bird and Get Out, it does have more star power, which means more members of the Academy are likely to have seen this one, which does help its chances. But also, out of the 3 of them, I would say that Three Billboards is probably the most mainstream of them because Get Out is a horror film and Lady Bird is more of an independent film. So yeah, I would say more Academy members would be inclined to see Three Billboards, which does help its chances. The way I see it is that it's the most safest and the most predictable of the 3 choices. Jordan Peele's script for Get Out, though, has already won a truckload of awards, which shows its relevance and its popularity. And because it surpassed expectations by getting 4 nominations, it really shows that the Academy has taken a shine to this film. And if Moonlight winning Best Picture tells us anything, it's that the Academy is desperately trying to course correct their ethos after the 2015/2016 #OscarsSoWhite debacle by awarding films that reflect cultural diversity or address issues that relate to race. Get Out is a satirical, topical, and relevant film about passive racism in America. It shouldn't be underlooked just because it's a horror/thriller/comedy. And it would be a big statement if Get Out won. And then there's Greta Gerwig's script for Lady Bird. I still haven't seen this film. Oh god. And it's killing me, because if I had seen it, I could probably inform my decision a bit better. And the one thing I keep hearing from other people that have seen this is that they're absolutely sure that this film is going to win Best Original Screenplay. And it's just like, I haven't seen it, so I can't say that with certainty. But yeah, I just sort of have to guess if it's good or not. Other critics are so sure in this prediction that they bet money on it. And if I could just see this film, it would probably give me some clarity on the category as a whole. There's so much buzz surrounding Lady Bird for its honest, down-to-earth writing. Honestly, there's nothing but praise for this screenplay. And because Greta Gerwig is up against titans like Paul Thomas Anderson, Christopher Nolan, and Guillermo del Toro for Best Direction, it's again most likely that she would win for writing. Plus, with the hashtag #MeToo movement really taking force in Hollywood, her being a woman is an advantage because, women in Hollywood are taking back the power, and her winning would be another statement about women and their position in this industry. It would be very fitting if Greta Gerwig won, at least for something. But what? I'm torn. As you can see, I'm being pulled in 3 different directions, and all 3 of these films have been supremely well received, and they all do have a viable claim to win. I'm starting to regret not waiting a few weeks so I could at least see Lady Bird to help inform my decision, but I should have waited a few weeks because this was an exceptionally tough category to talk about. But I just have to decide who I want to win and who I think will win. Right, so who do I want to win? Well, bearing in mind, my opinion still could change after I've seen Lady Bird in a few weeks' time. But I can only really fairly want someone to win if I've actually seen their work. But to be honest, if either Martin McDonagh or Jordan Peele won, I would be very happy. And I have a sneaking suspicion that I'm going to love Lady Bird too. So I'm sure if Greta Gerwig won, I'd be equally just as happy. Because the standard this year is so high and so varied. Like, you can't really compare each of the films to each other. They're all so good, but for different reasons. The only good thing to come out of a category where the race is too tight to call is that I know that the quality is so good that no matter who wins, as long as it's either Greta Gerwig, Martin McDonagh, or Jordan Peele, I'll be ecstatic for them. It's a little bit of a cop-out because, I'm not really picking a favourite of the 3 to win. Because, genuinely, it's like trying to pick who your favourite child is or something. And I just can't pick in this case. But it's true, I've got so much love in my heart for Get Out and 3 Billboards that if Martin McDonagh or Jordan Peele won, I'd be happy for them. And if Greta Gerwig does win, then I'll probably be happy for her because I'm really excited to see Lady Bird and see what all the fuss is about. I will be doing a review of Lady Bird in a few weeks' time, so I will confirm in that review if I think it's worthy of winning Best Original Screenplay, okay? So be sure to check that out. But it doesn't really matter who I want to win because I'd be completely happy with any 3 of them winning. But it comes down to who I think will win, and that's the fucking hard part. Okay, so the best way to break this down is to think of it like this. 3 Billboards feels like it would be the most safest and obvious choice to win. Get Out feels like it would be a statement win for its commentary on racism. And Lady Bird feels like it would be a statement win for women in general. Now I'm going to clarify, all 3 of these films are worthy of winning Best Original Screenplay for their writing, okay? Not because of the politics involved. And I would be happy if any 3 of these won, but I have to pick one that I think is going to win. And so I'm going to have to just go with my gut. If you put a gun to my head and ask me who I think's going to win the Best Original Screenplay this year, I think it will go to Jordan Peele for Get Out. Mainly because Jordan Peele is the first black man in history to be nominated for Best Directing, Best Writing, and Best Picture in his first time directing a feature film. Okay, this is a monumental moment for the Oscars. And if they don't award Jordan Peele in some capacity, it will feel like the Oscars have missed a chance to solidify this moment in history. I hate bringing politics into the Oscars, but it has been front, right, and center in the last few years with the Academy's inclusion of African-American nominees. And Peele has such stiff competition in the Best Direction and Best Picture category that it feels like his best chance of winning is for Best Original Screenplay. Also, if you look at this category, Best Original Screenplay, and really put emphasis on the word original, Get Out feels like it does have the most original content. Where 3 Billboards is a story about grief and retribution, and Lady Bird is a coming-of-age story with a good dollop of individuality thrown into the mix, they're both concepts that have been explored before in other films. I'm not saying they're not original, these films, but yeah, they certainly have been done before. But thematically, Get Out's exploration of racial awkwardness and passive racism has never really been explored before in mainstream cinema. It felt very fresh when we saw Get Out in cinemas, and it had something distinctively new to say, which is why I think Get Out just might have the edge in this category. But like I said, this is such a tight race to call, so it's immensely difficult to pick a winner for this category. But I want to know, who do you guys think is going to win this year? Because honestly, it's anybody's guess at this point. But yeah, who do you think's going to win? I would love to know your analysis, your thoughts, or your theories as to who's going to win and why, okay? Whatever you think, you can let me know in the comment section below, okay? And remember, I might change my mind closer to March 4th, the night of the Oscars, so if you want to see my full updated list of predictions, be sure to add me on Twitter. There's my Addy again. And if you like these vids and you want to know my predictions and thoughts on the other Oscar categories this year, be sure to click that subscribe button, okay guys? And hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Thanks so much for watching, guys. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Hiffield, and I'll see you next time.